Yeah, welcome to The List. It's the brand new show here on the Geeks, and Joysticks podcast YouTube channel, where we pluck out a name out of the famous list.
We've been talking about that for years. Right?
Talking about the list for years. The list is compiled about every movie I have not seen, or it could be movies that we just feel like watching and have not seen in years and want to tickle a little nostalgia balls. Mm-hmm. On today's video, we got the 1990s Dick Tracy. Had you seen this before?
I thought no, but after seeing a character, I said, hey, this brings something to mind. And I think I caught my mom watching it one time when I was little.
But you never sat down and...
Oh, hell no.
Me neither. So that's what the whole purpose of the whole purpose of the of the show, of the list, is to watch this shit. So if you don't know, Dick Tracy it's about the comic book strip detective that finds his life vastly complicated when Breathless Mahoney makes an advance towards him while he is trying to battle Big Boy Caprice's united mob. So Dick Tracy is a detective, but the origin of him is he was a comic book strip from the 30s. Like it debuted in the 30s, 1931 in Detroit. It was like a little tiny little strip on the newspaper, and it ran from 1931 to 1977. And it's won a bunch of prizes and it's won a bunch of awards. And it went from the little comic book strip to all the way having its own comic book. And it's had a ton of films, and it even had a show.
It had a show?
Had a show.
Wow.
And that's why I was like, on the pod, I was like, I don't know if it's really, or I don't know if I remember if I said it right now. I don't know if it's really the first one or a sequel. It's just a reboot, whatever you called it back then. It's just an adaptation of the comic book, of the comic strip.
I remember my mom and my aunts talking about Dick Tracy a lot because they read the strips.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around since forever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I throw it on here is because I've been watching like a lot of toy figure hunting, and a lot of like old school game collecting hunting videos. And they mentioned Dick Tracy a lot, and their toys, and there's a lot of memorabilia. And I was like, I never got around to what the fuck this is. So you know what? Let's get into it. The cast surprised me. I didn't think that
throw me in my ass.
So we got, it's written. No, it's not writing. Well, Chester Gould, who's the creator of Dick Tracy, I think he's in this project somewhere, but it's directed by Warren Beatty. Directed and starred by Warren Beatty. Charlie Carsmo is the little kid who is also the kid from Hook.
Yeah.
It's hard to recognize some of these people because they have all these weird, goofy ass prosthetics.
It was okay. That was the biggest thing that threw me off guard because starting the movie, you get those like, hey, what was this? Little Face?
Yeah,
one of the guys that gets killed. What it was kind of bone chilling because I didn't expect that.
No,
it was so strange that Little Face and Prune Face or whatever. I don't know.
Flat top, Little Face, the brow, the rodent, shoulders, Stooge. I mean,
they do represent their names.
Yeah,
in a crazy fucking way.
Lips.
Oh, Sorvino, Simon. Wait, no, mames, that was fucking weird.
But again, trying to go back to the cast, where Madonna,
baby, damn.
Paul Sorvino, as you mentioned, Robert Costanzo, he's been in a lot of shit. You recognize him before. Al Pacino is like the big one who plays Big Boy Caprice, and he is the most Al Pacino of all time. He's just yelling.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Wait, yeah. It was Al Pacino on crack times 10.
T-way, because he's there's all supposed to be very cartoony because it almost looks like they plucked out the
characters from the strip.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden you see Dustin Hoffman, Kathy Bates is the secretary, Dick Van Dyke.
Kathy Bates was the one that I did not
Recognize?
expect. Yeah.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke. Catherine O'Hara is in there.
Mm-hmm.
It just starts getting. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? James Caan. You're like, what the fuck? It's just getting crazy and crazy and crazy and crazier. But yeah, the story, it's a little wonky, maybe. I mean, it starts off one way and then it goes another with the introduction of the blank.
But did you feel that the movie was too long?
No, because I felt like it was paced brilliantly. I feel like it's really fast paced.
I think the before the introduction of the blank, I thought the movie was gonna end. Then they introduced him, and I was like, "Holy shit! Wait!" And I saw the runtime, and I was just halfway.
Yeah,
like
so,
damn.
So what are you saying? It went fast or went slow?
It went kind of slow, yeah.
Oh, now for me it was fast because there would be scenes where Dick Tracy was like, "I gotta go see him," and then the very next scene is him showing up to see him. Where usually you have like a bullshit filler scene in between those two scenes, you know?
Yes.
Like Dick is so and so at the club, and then it's usually like a cut to the bad guy fucking around, and then whatever.
Like Dick, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, then Dick shows up. In this case, it was like, oh, we gotta go get the thing, and then immediately they go and get the thing. So I felt like the pace was bam, 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 pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the yellow trench coat's pretty iconic, no?
Yes, and that's something I wanted to touch upon. That the color is such a huge character in this movie.
Yeah, not only on the trench coat, like the way that everything looks in the city, like the city in of itself, similar to Gotham, is kind of a character.
And I really do not know how metrics were for movies were then. But the bad guys are the most colorful bad guys I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It's a crazy cast of characters.
Yeah, it's and because the characters and how they're dressed, because they're purple, they're red, they're green, but so the colors are so fiery.
It's extra.
It's so extra,
but it works.
It just blended everything so perfectly for me.
And I mean, like every character's name is kind of the representative of themselves. It's kind of cool. My favorite was Dustin Hoffman, Mumbles. I loved him. Mumbles, and we call each other Mumbles when we fucking mumble and shit.
Yes,
I was laughing my ass off every time he was on the fucking screen.
It really made me uncomfortable when he sweated because of how the prosthetics look.
Yeah,
they look gnarly, way bien cabrón.
They look pretty foul, but I really, really like the aesthetic and the whole color of the city, and how like. There's like 4 or 5 different colors in the city, you know? There's green, there's blue, there's red, there's yellow. There's all these fucking crazy colors, and each bad guy with their color, it's extra, but all together it works.
It makes sense.
If only one of them was crazy, it wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to like pinpoint the era it's supposed to be. I was hoping that something would like give an inkling towards
supposed to be like the 20s or 30s.
I mean, it's not confirmed, because then you got like the walkie-talkie watch, which is not something that was technologically advanced at the time.
No, but that was like the aesthetics or the
vibe they're going for, yeah.
Yeah, the retrofuturistic shit that they came up with on that time. For example, another movie we're gonna talk about. Should I spoil it?
Nah.
Okay. There's another movie we're gonna talk about later that does kind of touch on that. That is supposed to be set in the 20s or 30s, maybe even 40s.
Yeah.
But it has the same aesthetic. Like the design is kind of
futuristic.
Like futuristic, like Art Deco shit.
Yeah. But it's just what I'm trying to say is that the movie never specified what point in time it is.
No.
You know? But it has like the radio guy, hey, Dick Tracy is now in jail, or whatever the fuck, right?
Oh, I love that one. Oh my God.
And then the cars are very 1930s. So all that mixed with like cool Apple Watch technology, which is crazy way. They thought that this is like never going to happen, you know, like a walkie-talkie watch.
And lo and behold.
And now you can watch fucking porn on your fucking phone that's on your wrist. That's crazy. Yeah, Danny Elfman music immediately reminded me of Batman. Every fucking 20 seconds it was Batman.
Oh my God.
I think he copy-pasted Batman.
I mean, yeah. Well, basically, Dick Tracy is like a facet of Batman.
So Disney kind of wanted it to be their Batman.
Was it Disney?
Not Disney, but it was under the Disney umbrella of Touchstone Pictures, which is what Disney did own. And again, going in, I thought this was going to be kind of PG, but it's PG-13. You see Madonna's titties in the moonlight. They're killing people, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But they wanted, Disney wanted to kind of have it be their Batman with multiple sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I think it flopped in the theater, like it wasn't received as well, but it developed a cult following after that. To this day, Warren Beatty's still like, I think we're working on a Dick Tracy 2. I think I think it's in the works. Or, he's teasing the fans of it could happen, which I don't know how old Warren Beatty is now. He was looking old, but it could happen. I'd be down. I wouldn't be opposed to a reboot.
Oh, no.
Because it's been done so many times. It's not like there was one in the 40s, the one in the 50s, one in the 60s, one in the 70s, and I think the show in the 80s and the 90s. It's been 30 years. And it's so cool, and there's nothing else kind of like it.
Not right now.
I'd be down for a sequel. Now, who would play it? I don't know. You gotta fucking do some casting. Just make sure it's not Chris Pratt. None of the Avenger guys. No. Or Tom Holland.
No, please no.
Yeah, but the prosthetics are so terrible. But again, it fits. They're trying to emulate it's like live. It's like live action cartoons. Super weird. Even the hand-to-hand combat is super exaggerated too. Like he winds up all the way fucking back here and goes
terrible.
Sideways. It was horrible.
But that was the magic of those movies. It was so over the top.
It fits.
Well, for now.
The way he was wind up, he would, instead of like straight back, like throwing a baseball, he like goes sideways and does this shit. What the fuck? How do you punch like this? And then the push and the fly in a while. It's crazy. But again, I did think it was fast paced. I didn't feel the time though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really fast paced. So like I said in the pod, we're gonna go into spoilers. So hopefully you guys watch the movie with us. And then you go in the comments and say whatever the fuck you want. Or if you even remember, go down there in the comments and we'll be chatting with you down there. So I almost spoiled it to you, but it was spoiled to me, right? And I thought, I'm going to forget. Fuck it, who cares? I'll watch it anyways. So the spoil happened so soon that I couldn't fucking forget, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how it was spoiled to me was, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I watch toy figure hunting, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the Dick Tracy toys?
Never.
Okay, so they're these little toys, and they collect them on cart or whatever, right? So the reveal to me happened on one of these videos where they were talking about the Dick Tracy toys, right? And you get, because all these crazy cast of characters are very action figurable.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember the word that these guys actually use.
Mm-hmm.
That whenever you see on screen, they can translate on toys. And that's how movies used to be done with that purpose before.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Marvel still does that to this day, where let's put out a movie to sell this.
Same one.
And that's exactly what they do. So what they were doing with these toys is that they had every character on there, right? And one of the characters was the blank. Who the blank is, if we haven't said it, was so Dick Tracy's trying to bring down Al Pacino. I almost called him Capone. It's funny because the creator of Dick Tracy based Dick Tracy on the detective that brought down Al Capone. That's what I was thinking about.
I didn't know that.
Yes. It sounds like I got ADD. Let's bring it back. The fucking toys was one of them of the blank. The blank is someone who's comes in the movie kind of a bad guy, kind of like the main bad guy. I don't even understand what their purpose is.
He wanted to take everybody out.
He didn't give a fuck. No. I guess because he's shooting the bad guys, he's shooting at the good guys. He's setting up Al Pacino's character as he kidnapped Dick Tracy's mija, and he's doing all this shady shit. And he's considered as the blank, and he has no face. So that toy comes out, right? And if you open the toy, you can remove the head of the blank and see who it is.
No te pases de verga, es neta.
Yes. So that's how it was spoiled to me that the blank is Madonna's character.
Madonna. Damn.
And if you like look, if you don't want to open it, and if you look, you can see that there's red hair underneath the mask.
Oh shit.
So because the toys came out first in Canada, the movie was being spoiled to people in Canada.
Oh damn.
So they had to pull some of these toys out, and I think that's why some of these toys are kind of rare now.
Mm-hmm.
In mint and cart and all that shit, because they pulled them off because they would reveal the toy, they would reveal the movie. So now knowing that, I was watching the movie with that lens of looking for little Madonna nuances in her performances of like, does she know what she's doing? Mm-hmm. And because I was looking for that, I realized how well they were hiding it. Did you have any inkling that it was her?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, so you can kind of tell, or no? You could kind of tell.
I couldn't tell, but it was strange that she kind of like wanted to bring down Tracy, but also not. And I was like, is there a possibility that it's maybe Madonna?
Okay.
So it's more just like an inkling, like maybe, but not really. But I don't know. Maybe it's something different. And damn, lo and behold.
But because I watched it with knowing that, I could see it with a different lens.
Simon.
But I wanted to get that perspective. Is it obvious that it's her or not? Obviously,
no, it wasn't.
But I think it wasn't obvious because they were hiding it perfectly. Because they would put them in back-to-back scenes. Mm-hmm. They would have the blank talking shit, and then the very next scene that it cuts is Madonna looking out a window. You know,
Simon.
So that helps you automatically think it can't be her because I just saw the blank over here. It can't be Madonna that's over here chilling. You know, and they make it seem like that is seconds before, like that one scene where she's looking out the window, and the guy that the blank was talking to comes into Al Pacino's office. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, they did that to make it look like it can't be Madonna because we just saw the blank. They did that a bunch of times. Like the first time that she went to Dick's office and she comes out, the very next scene is the blank talking on the phone.
Same one.
So they did that perfectly, but I didn't know if it was obvious or not.
No, it wasn't. Hell no.
Hey, Madonna was smoking, eh? I say it was because someone needs to tell her that she's not anymore. She's scary now.
Oh, she's mummy scary, but
she's acting as if she still looks like that.
Yeah, that's a really hard bummer.
And I've never been hot, so I can't be like, I don't know how that feels of like being super hot and then all of a sudden not. I don't know how that works.
Pero way Madonna was fucking rocking.
Am I tripping, or was she not wearing anything when she was like standing in the moonlight?
No, she was straight up.
She was
rocking
naked,
the titty
right?
out. Yeah.
Like the titties
her titties were out, but she had like she had chonies.
Yeah.
But no, she full titty. Goddamn.
That's when I was like, when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is not a children's.
Nope.
But I looked up Dick Tracy and it said a beloved classic children's story or whatever.
Dude, children smoked in the 30s and the early 1900s. There were cigarettes for kids. I've always said this. It was fucking crazy.
I know, but this movie came out in the 90s. But still, there were different children, I guess. Because I think Boss watched it and his crew watched it when they were kids, I think.
Dude, I'm going to say like noon was a very normal time for TV stations to play RoboCop, the first one.
Yeah.
That's how I saw RoboCop.
Hey, guess what, Doug? Guess what's getting added to the list, Doug? RoboCop.
You've never seen it?
No.
That's a good one.
Scenes, but I've never sat down with the intent of watching the whole thing.
Oh, that's
the whole purpose of this show, is to sit down and watch the whole thing. I enjoyed Dick Tracy. I thought it was good. And pinche Dick kept kissing Madonna away. It was fucking annoying. He's like, I love Tess. I love the lady. But then Madonna comes in with her naked ass and starts making out with her. And he did it once, and Tess caught his ass, right?
Yeah.
Then he does it again at the end way when she's dying or whatever the fuck. And then he gets up, walks out the door, and then keeps kissing on Tess and like, pinche vato, eh.
Well, I mean, I get that characters have to be flawed, But I was like, motherfucker's a player.
It's a player, and I guess it could be like, oh, it's a cool thing or not. I don't roll like that, you know. I'm a fucking.
I mean, neither.
I'm a prune. But still, it was like, I love Tess. But then he goes to Madonna, mwah, and the Max on her, like, wait, you just said, I got you, but I'm gonna make out with Madonna because you're hot and you're dying, and she's not gonna tell her because ya se murió, güey.
But see, güey.
And then he walks out the door and he's like, oh, Tess, I love you. It's like, you fuck. I was kind of like, all right, bro. I guess that's appealing for the kids in the 90s. I don't know.
I mean, they gave him a reason to jerk off.
I guess it was funny. To close out, dog, who was your MVP?
It's I'm gonna say Colors.
Okay, that's fair. I can't give it to Al Pacino, even though he's the best actor, because he was playing
himself.
He was
way back before that
cool.
was a thing.
Yeah. See, I don't know if that's himself. It's just, I think that when you do an impression of Al Pacino, you take all of his performances and make them extra and do the you go right at, you do that shit, right? So he's doing that the whole movie. He's screaming and yelling out the whole movie. It's more funny than impressive to be like, oh wow, you know. But the whole world is crazy. But my MVP is Mumbles. I have to give it to fucking Dustin Hoffman. He was great, and the kid was great too. I thought it's a good movie. It's I don't know if it deserves a spot in like Hall of Fame of like aliens. Let's teach aliens about stuff in the 90s. It goes in there.
That's a definite steelbook purchase.
Yeah, like okay, let's go like that. Like you had not seen it, and then now that you have, you become a fan and you understand, because there's so much memorabilia on it. There's video games, there's Genesis games, there's Super Nintendo games. There's just so much merchandise came out. They thought it was going to be big. I'm not sure. I should have done a bigger deep dive as to why it didn't, but I just didn't. They didn't go on with the second one. They didn't do anything. I think it flopped.
Damn.
But I would definitely want a some kind of reboot sequel, depending on who it is. We gotta make sure that that's right and nice and tidy. Even if it's Warren Beatty, that would be interesting. Like an old ass.
Like, what the fuck happened with Dick Tracy?
He's over here macking on all these different ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a definite watch. If you've not seen it and if you're curious about it, I say watch it. It's good. Even with the spoiler, it's still fun to dip your toe in that world, because it's a whole world. It's kind of like Batman. It feels like, and then Danny Elfman with the music. It's really it's really good. I understand the fandom behind it. I understand why it holds a whole bunch of nostalgia for people, because it grasps you. It pulls you in whether you like it or not.
Oh, definitely. It's a must watch for anybody.
It's a must watch. So those were our thoughts on Dick Tracy. Leave a comment down below what you thought about it. If you've seen it, have you seen it in the 90s? Did you get any other toys? Anything Dick Tracy related, leave it down there in the comments. We'll be chatting with you guys. Stay tuned to the pod that comes out every Sunday on this very channel, where at the end we'll be revealing what movie will be coming on next episode. So go and listen to the pod. You have to listen to the whole fucking thing.
Yes, please,
to make sure what's coming up. But yeah, anything you want to say to the beautiful people, Felix?
Not right now.
Always unfair you, do you?
Bye.